God was willing to sit down with you personally and allow you to air any question, to reason through your doubts, your cynicism, your skepticism, if you could pose any challenge to him, would you take him up on his offer? Would you be willing to investigate the claims of God and understand his purposes if he was willing to explain them? Let me press deeper. Would you be willing to believe him if you found him to be believable? Well, friend, he has given you just such an invitation. In Isaiah 1 and verse 18, God says, "Come now and let us reason together," says the Lord. You know, God isn't intimidated by our questions or our doubts. He isn't surprised by our skepticism. In fact, quite the opposite is true. He is fully aware of every detail of your life. And still, he invites you to approach him personally and to reason, to talk with him, to think with him through your life's deepest questions. So I hope you'll do just that through these videos. Find a quiet place, grab a cup of coffee or tea, open your heart, and consider the message of God in his word, the Bible. It's a message that is so diluted and distorted by the religious systems of the world. But it is so simple and powerful to the human heart. You see, there's a message in the Bible, one with incredible implications for your life. And yet, ironically, you won't find it in most of the pulpits or churches in America or in the world. You won't find it in the pages of many Christian books. It's a message that's understandable to a little child, but it is missed by so many full-grown adults. It's a message that is verifiable, frankly, by intelligent reason, by logic, but it's only acceptable by simple faith. It could change your life forever. It's totally transformational. It's the most important message you will ever consider. It's literally life and death. So, could you spare a few minutes to understand this message? I don't know where or how these little videos find you or how they came to be a part of your day, but I don't believe it's an accident. Perhaps you're searching for some answers about life. Perhaps you're confused in this chaotic world. Perhaps you're cynical of organized religion like I am, and yet still somewhat curious about spiritual things and about God and about truth. Well, by now, you've got to know there's more to this life than just time. I think you know in your heart that you're more than just a body. There must be a purpose, a reason for it all. There must be hope. There must be more than just birth, life, death, and some endless, hopeless cycle of evolutionary processes, randomly headed nowhere. You must be more valuable than that. And your future must mean more than that. You know, deep within, we know these things because they're written in our hearts. They're etched into our consciences like a deeply woven thread. It's impossible to remove these things from our souls. These truths are a part of your spiritual genetics, your DNA. You know you were created because your world shows intelligent design. You know your creator must be good because he created so many good things. And yet, we live in a world of pain and problems. We live with nagging questions and doubts. We live in a world where God has given us enough information to know he exists, but deep within, we long for more. You know there's more, and God promises to give you more if you will seek him. So, are you willing for a moment to consider the thought that God truly does exist and he cares about you? Are you willing to see some reliable evidence and to consider deeply what it might mean for your life? The key word here is willing. What if your conclusions about life, death, and eternity are established on faulty information? What if there's more to the picture? What if there's more information you need? Suppose for a moment that there truly is a God. Suppose that he created you and loves you intensely, Imagine that he has a perfect eternal purpose for you, but that you're now held hostage by a ruthless enemy, an enemy that you cannot see, but an enemy that is bent on destroying you. Imagine that this loving God is on a rescue mission to save you. This is all going on behind the scenes of your everyday life, behind the visible wall of your day-to-day existence, in a spiritual sense. Maybe you've never given it even a moment's thought. If you could know for sure where you would spend eternity after this life, if you could forever put away every fear you've ever had, especially the fear of death, if this incredible, loving God were knocking at your door right now, offering to rescue you from it all, would you let him? Would you even give him a chance? Wouldn't you want to know this kind of God? If being loved by God matters to you at all, then all I ask is that you give him a chance to connect with your heart through these videos. So stay with me. I think you're going to really enjoy this story.